All right, let's dive into one of the most important blueprints being drawn up in our lifetime, the one for creating safe AI. We're really at a crossroads here, with two completely different visions for how to build our intelligent future. So the big question is, which plan are we going to choose?
Let's be real. We are building machines that will eventually surpass human intelligence. That's not really up for debate anymore. The question isn't if, it's how. And maybe even more important than that, how do we build it the right way? How do we make sure this incredible power actually works for us and not in some other unexpected way?
And that question leads us directly to our first section, the alignment challenge. At its heart, this is all about one thing, making sure that any AI we build is fundamentally on our team.
So what exactly is AI alignment? Well, simply put, it's the massive challenge of making sure that these advanced AI systems do things that are actually good for people. Think about it like this. It's not just about teaching a super smart system what to do, but about teaching it what's right. Embedding our values right into its very core.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. Because, as you might guess, there's no single, easy answer here. The whole field is basically a huge debate between two totally different philosophies on how to build a safe and helpful superintelligence. So let's jump into the first approach. We're going to call this one the renovator. The main idea here is pretty straightforward. You take an AI that's already incredibly powerful, and then you work to fix it and guide it using feedback from real people.
And that metaphor is actually perfect. Imagine you have this building that's a work of absolute genius, but it's also completely chaotic and maybe a little dangerous. That's kind of like our pre-trained AI. A renovator's job isn't to tear it down and start over. No, they go into that existing structure, add some guardrails, strengthen the foundations, and make it safe and useful for the people who will live there. That's us.
Now, the technical name for this whole renovation process is reinforcement learning from human feedback, or just RLHF. It's basically a four-step dance. First, the AI spits out a bunch of different answers to a question. Second, a bunch of humans come in and rank those answers from the very best to the absolute worst. Third, we train a whole separate AI, a reward model, on all those human rankings, so it learns what we think a good answer looks like. And finally, the original AI gets fine-tuned to try and get the highest possible score from that reward model. It literally learns to please us based on our feedback.
But wait, what if you didn't have to renovate it all? What if you could just get the blueprint right from the very beginning? Well, that brings us to our second big idea, the architect. This approach is all about designing AI to be safe from day one, from the ground up. This philosophy is a total 180 from the first one. It's like designing a skyscraper where safety isn't an afterthought. You're not just adding sprinklers at the end. No, safety is part of the very blueprint. The steel, the layout, the foundation, every single piece is designed from the start to be fundamentally stable and secure. This quote on the screen just nails the whole concept. The goal isn't just to figure out how to steer a powerful system after it's already built. The goal is to build a system that is designed to be steerable from its very core. It's about making the AI's inner workings more transparent and controllable from the start, so that alignment is just built in, not bolted on as an afterthought.
Okay, so we've got our two competing visions, right? We have the renovator, who fixes what already exists, and we have the architect, who designs from scratch. So let's do it. Let's put them head to head and see how the blueprint stacks up against the renovation.
This table really lays it all out. So for the renovator, RLHF, the core idea is to steer an AI that's already built. And its greatest strength, it's practical, and it works right now. A lot of the models we use every day are built this way. But the weakness is a massive looming question. Can this method actually scale up to superintelligence? How can we humans give good feedback on ideas that are way beyond our ability to understand? We eventually become really bad judges of what good even is. Okay, now let's flip to the architect, the by construction idea. The core concept is to build an AI that's just born aligned. Its strength is that, in theory, this is a way more robust and reliable path to safety. But the weakness? It's way more complex to pull off, and honestly, it's not really widely deployed yet. It's kind of like having the perfect blueprint, but you're still waiting for the construction crew to show up. Look, I know this can sound like some abstract, technical debate for engineers, but it's really not. This choice has absolutely massive consequences for every single one of us. And that brings us to our final section, building our AI future. Because here's the bottom line. The lines of code that people are writing today, that's not just code. That is literally the architecture of tomorrow's society.
The philosophical choices we make right now will define the safety, the reliability, and the very nature of the most powerful tools humanity has ever created.
And so, that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Which path do we take? Should we move fast and just keep improving with the powerful renovation tools we already have? Or should we maybe hit pause, even just for a bit, to really perfect the blueprint, knowing that it might slow us down? That's the choice we face.